What is WonderBar? WonderBar is a bubble bar recipe invented by Amanda Aaron in the summer of 2020. It can be pressed, rolled, scooped, or piped, and it's pretty much freaking awesome. So I'm going to show you today how to use it in a 3D mold, like a Cada mold, or any 3D printed mold. The great thing that I like about WonderBar, not only is its versatility, right? So if you are a bath bomb maker, bubble bar maker, you know that most of the time your bubble frosting, your bubble scoops, your bubble bars, you have to have a different recipe for all of those items. With WonderBar, it's the same recipe with one little tweak is how you transition from the different textures to make it pipeable or scoopable, rollable, etc. And then not just that one easy tweak, but then it dries rock hard. And I'm telling you, it dries rock hard. I live in Houston, Texas. It is super humid here, and humidity has always been a problem for me with bubble bars. So I mentioned that to Amanda Aaron, and she came back with WonderBar, and it is freaking amazing. So I'll shut up and tell you what I'm actually doing here. So when I use WonderBar with the 3D mold, I like to take the piece of dough that I'm working with, and I'm going to, you saw me doing it, but I'm rubbing it on the surface, a smooth surface, to get a nice smooth texture. Now I can go back later when I'm done, and I do actually show at the end of this video how to repair and patch little flaws on your bubble bar, but I want it to have as smooth a surface as possible, just because it's less, recovery work later on. So I'm taking that piece of dough and I'm just rubbing it against my smooth table to get that nice smooth texture. Now, the bunny mold, the Cada bunny mold it's not really the easiest mold as far as making bubble bars because of those ears. So you can see that the first time I did not shape the bar, but I am shaping it here. And so I have the front piece of that mold, the detailed piece of that mold inside the shell, and then I'm kind of stuffing the bubble bar into that shell and just kind of pressing it down in there, and then I'm just swiping it off clean. Now we do give you instructions on how to tweak WonderBar. So this is the basic WonderBar recipe with no extra rubbing alcohol. This is at what we consider the pressable scoop level, okay? So this is the basic WonderBar with just the basic ingredients. And you can see that I'm holding the bubble bar right there. So you're able to manipulate it and pick it up, move it around and stuff. They're going to be very soft. But actually when I do the repairs on them, it's going to be in just like a few hours after making it. So that's how quickly it gets hard. And here's with a little bit easier mold. So this is the Cada Gummy Bear Lollipop Mold, and I'm not going to have to worry about getting that ear shape as much with this. Mostly you just have to make sure that you're getting it down into the divots where the feet and the hands are of the bear. So it's the same concept though. I'm rubbing it flat and smooth on my table, and then I'm going to press it in. I'm making sure to press it into the little feet sections, and this is deeper than the bunny, so I'm just kind of stacking it on top, and then I'm just going to slide my little bear into the shell and kind of pressing the mix in there. And you can see this is not super sticky. It's not sticking to my hands or anything like that. That's why I said this is the initial first kind of tweak of the recipe that you get. This was just with 50 grams of rubbing alcohol, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So there's the little bear, and he does have a little flaw on his foot, but I will show you at the end of this how you can go back and fix that. And here we go again. Now I'm not having to dust the mold with baking soda or cornstarch or anything like that. I do have a little measuring scoop up there above me with cornstarch in it, just in case I do need to dust the molds. I don't end up needing to dust them though. It works fine for me. This texture was good for me on this particular day. I have high humidity all the time, and it's rarely a problem for me. But yep, so I've got that little guy, and I'm shoving him into his little shell. And I only mentioned the cornstarch because you're about to see what happens. I have an yeah. But yeah, so I'm pressing that in there, pressing that other side smooth just to make sure it's all in there. And then, yeah, that happened. So okay, I'm just speeding up the cleaning up process. He did not fall all the way out of his mold. He got like a little bit. Okay, he was good enough. I just kind of shoved him back in there, and then I'm gonna shove him back into the little shell, and he'll be fine. He's fine, guys. So I'm just sticking him back in there, and yeah, I'm gonna unmold him and not drop him this time. My bad. And I feel like that part at the end where you're like shaving the back of the thing is so satisfying. I just need to do a video just of that. It's pretty awesome. The other thing with the bunny mold is that, I don't know if you noticed it, but I have to like I have to peel the ears. I have to peel the ears off first. And with the bear, you don't have to do that. So I mean, it's just, the bunny mold's cute. It's just more problematic when it comes to WonderBar. So if you've tried it with the bunny mold, I'm sorry. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm even. The bear's a lot easier. There's many other easier molds. I think the first time I did it with the alien head mold, and that was super easy. The picture of the WonderBar recipe has with the Cada awareness ribbon mold, and that was also really easy. So there are easier molds than the bunny mold, which is why I'm showing you the gummy bear, because he's also really easy and he's super cute. Oh my gosh, I had just gotten him this day. I haven't even tried making bath bombs with him yet. I just haven't even tried that yet. So I'm trimming down the chunk that I have chosen, trimming it down a little bit just so that it fits in there easier. And the reason I'm rubbing it smooth is like basically anywhere where there's a wrinkle in the dough, there's gonna be a wrinkle in the actual bubble bar. Now, I don't feel like bubble bars need to be perfectly smooth. I think that people expect bubble bars to be kind of cracked and smashed looking and have wrinkles, and just I feel like there is a texture, a specific texture that people see and expect out of bubble bars, and I think that it's perfectly fine. I do show you how to smooth them out simply because people ask about it. So it was something that I wanted to show you guys how to do. Or if people don't ask about it, they don't know about it. So it is something that I show you guys how to do. So there's my last little burr. I'm gonna unmold him. And these do actually have, so this is the lollipop mold. So I do actually put popsicle sticks or lollipop sticks in them. And I do that before they're dry. So bath bombs, you do that. You like put the lollipop stick in, pull it out, and then wait for them to dry and then add it back. With the bubble bars, I just pop the stick in and just leave it. You don't have to do that whole thing where it has to dry and stuff first. So, and like I said, this is the pressing consistency, which means they're going to be dry in like a matter of hours. Okay, so I purposely got my mix sticky. Because I expected it to be more sticky than it was. Occasionally it is sticky. I purposely stickified it and went and added some extra stuff to it to get it sticky, and got it all over my gloves and stuff, so it's like sticky, basically to show you guys like what to do if it's sticky, because that is a problem that people have. And that could come down to a miscalculation in how much ingredients you measured in. It could come down to just basic a difference in the ingredients that you're using. I mean, that's one of the things we've definitely found out with bath bombs, is that even your brand of baking soda can have a difference have different results in the exact same recipe. So I mean, if your mix is stickier, you're going to learn the ins and outs of how it works for you. It's one of the things I just try to be consistent with the supplies that I use. And then if I do use supplies that are kind of, not my typical supplies, I definitely try to make sure that I take notes of that, so that I'm not, later on wondering like what the heck happened. So basically, if the mix is like too sticky and you're having issues with it, you can take off both the front piece and the back piece and use the outer shell almost like a cookie cutter, right, to just kind of form the shape. And you did see that I dusted the like squishy roll of dough. I dusted that with cornstarch and before I stuck it into that little shell, and I'm using the flat back side of the mold to push it through. And it does stick a little bit on that one ear. It kind of stuck a little bit. So I could have dusted that flat back piece with cornstarch as well, which I'm pretty sure I show you that. We're about to find out together whether or not I show you that. But oh, and there I am sticking the little stick in him. So yeah, you can see that, it's pretty easy to work with it. You just have to, make sure that you're just tweaking your recipe as needed for your area. And I definitely say for that first consistency, that first texture, make sure that you're allowing your mixer to mix. I mean, you can do it by hand. I use a stand mixer because my little hands get tired and I don't like to mix all that stuff by hand. But, just let the stand mixer do a lot of work. Let your ingredients combine and give them lots of time before you give up and start adding more liquids. You can always add more later, but you can't really take it away once it's there, right? So, okay, so I have my little piece of dough. I have shaped it to approximately the correct shape, and I am rubbing it on the table, patting it with cornstarch. Now, you can see it's got a nice texture. I mean, it's not too rough or anything like that. And then I'm kind of shaping it to be the right shape for my little bunny. And I'm gonna stick him in there. Just like that. And then I'm gonna check to make sure that it's pressed all the way through. That's the thing with the press piece. You can't check to see if it's going all the way through. Okay, so he is all the way in there, and I'm rubbing on both sides this time to make sure that it's smooth. Giving it a little, anywhere it's sticky, just give it a little pat of cornstarch, and that'll mostly get absorbed back into the bubble bar. I haven't found, I think, when you dust the mold itself, I think you do tend to get more like spots of cornstarch that just never seem to absorb. But when I dust the batter, the bubble bar mix itself, it seems to work better. So, okay, and then I pushed the flat piece on there. This is just the flat, smooth side of the mold. I'm just using that as a plunger, basically, to push it through. And then, oops, you can see I dropped him. I dented his bottom a little bit, but he's still good. I mean, this is a pretty good recipe. It's going to be pretty workable, and it stays. What am I doing? Oh. I just gave up on him. I thought this was No Man Left Behind, and I just gave up on him. Well, sometimes we surprise ourselves, Okay, I didn't know. This is why I record myself, though, because sometimes I'm like, did I do that? And I did. I did do that. I just destroyed him. He was okay. He wasn't that bad, but I destroyed him, so. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to fast forward through this because I don't think that I can sit there and watch myself remake the same bubble bar over again. I just feel like that would be painful. So we'll get back to the point where we were at. Oh, look, there I am. I'm unmolding him. This time I won't drop him. And again, I'm just gently pulling at the ears first, and he's stuck there again. So here we are. We're gonna clean them up now. So I finished making that batch, and I have some 91% rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna put it in a little container so it's easily accessible to me. And you can't really see, or maybe you can, but he has some flaws on him. He's got that little spot on his tummy. So I'm just going to gently, I dip my finger into the rubbing alcohol, and then I gently rub on the spots where he is damaged or has cracks or any kind of blemishes or imperfections. And you can do that all the way around. And you can do this to WonderBar pretty much at any point. Obviously, it's not going to be easy to do it to a frosting, a bubble frosting version of this recipe, but you can certainly do it with the pressed bars. I don't think there's a reason to do it for the scooped bars, because you want scooped bubble bars to have like that kind of crackly ice cream looking texture. But for the pressed bars, you just kind of go around and just rub the little blemishes wherever you see them, and you can rub them smooth, and it works really, really well. And now I'm going to fast forward through this as well, because there's really no reason to sit there and watch me do every single one painstakingly, going all the way around to every single little flaw that they hypothetically have. I don't really think that they're flawed. I think that they're fine, but I'm showing you this so that you know that it's a possibility. So if you want that perfectly smooth bubble bar, you can get that with WonderBar. So that's pretty much all I have to show you today, guys. I do plan on having more videos on WonderBar. People have asked for me to show videos on how to roll it. On our Bath Fizz and Foam Facebook group, I have tons of videos of me piping it, which I hope to get uploaded to YouTube soon. But in the meantime, you now have this video where it has been pressed live. So yeah, count yourself lucky. You just saw history get made right there. This is what the finished bubble bars look like. They are super cute. Thank you so much for joining and watching. Come visit us at bathfizzandfoam.com, where we have recipes, color studies, all kinds of cool stuff, and Bath Fizz and Foam Bath Bomb and Bubble Bar support group on Facebook. We have a great community of makers, and we would love to see you there. Happy making!